Paul, if you would.
Well, Pastor asked me, do you know what you're going to say? And I'm like, I probably will know once I get up here. This is something that we've known for some time, but like all things, God gives you a word and then you kind of have to work it out in his timing. It was not easy whatsoever because of all the ventures that I had at that time. I felt like, are you sure, God? I had to do a lot of praying, a lot of fasting. I've had a lot of sleepless nights. Natalie knows. And it has not been an easy, because we're not leaving, we're going. But just to share with you, to let you know something that we've lived by, and those of you who know our situation when we first came here, it was basically, I was in a church leading worship. Bunch of stuff happened that it was literally a text message. Okay, so this Sunday you'll be your last day leading, and you'll be playing, a musician. Some other guy came in. I'm like, this is a text message, and I'm like, I'm baffled. What am I gonna do? I'm getting cut. I have one Sunday left. I'm just gonna trust God. I'm gonna pray it through. The Monday after that Sunday, I get an email from my brother-in-law. Oh yeah, my pastor totally forgot about this, and he was wondering if you'd be interested in leading worship at a church in Yorba Belinda. Yeah. I called, so this is literally, Sunday's my last day. Monday I get the email. Tuesday I'm talking to pastor on the phone, and I was 31 at the time. The first day I came here was the day I turned 32, and we go through this conversation. So you're 31 years old, and you've led worship, and you know how to handle a band, and you've handled singers. I'm like, yes. I was 16 years old when God gave me the vision of just doing music and sharing it with people. And in that vision, it was a vision of just giving food. And there was no better timing than the day we showed up here, not knowing what would take place with the birth of heaven, Natalie basically just having to trust God in all things, and myself. And this is the verse that, one of the verses to this day, I still remind myself as much as possible. And it's the Amplified version in Proverbs 3. It says, lean on, trust in, and be confident in the Lord with all your heart and mind, and do not rely on your own insight or understanding, but in all your ways know, recognize, and acknowledge him, and he will direct and make plain and straight your path. We can't make sense of everything, but when we trust the Lord, we know that it's always the right thing. And even though we're human and we're emotional, we love you guys so much that, my hours flipped. I was stressing. I didn't know how I was going to say it, because the first thing that sometimes people think is, are you upset? Are you leaving because you're hurt? And it's a resounding no. We love this place so much that I'm not going to cry. I'm going to hold it in, because I've been doing so much crying that I'm going to hold it in. Anyway, I know the timing was bad when I came to pastor, but this is how much God was involved. We speak Wednesday, and he says, it took me 3 years to find you. Can you help me? Because I don't know how I'm going to find another you. And I said, what I would like to believe is that God is going to send somebody who's more local to the community. I lost my car the first year I was here, and we shared a car. She works in far Moreno Valley, so everything was just Sundays as we could make it. And I said, somebody who was local to the community, who was connected to the Orange County area, who has a history of worship that is deeper than mine, but is also as modern as today, that can invest in, when this grows to go in 2 services, midweeks, and all the stuff that will come, that is coming, that could be here. The next day, the same brother-in-law who emailed me about coming here text messages me and says, hey, my friend just got let go after 12 years, and he's been given a 2-week notice. And we think he might be perfect for Church of Grace and just how you're leaving. That Sunday following, pastor receives a word from one of our friends that he told us just last week as probably one of the most dead-on words that literally told him about, what's coming and gave him peace to be able to go to Europe. He spoke to Scott the Monday before, right? Before leaving Tuesday, and just the sequence of days up to Europe and then even coming has been just God placing things in such an order that even one of the blessings is I got a car. And here's the real kicker. Pastor helped me get it. And when he first told me, he says, I've been praying for a car for you. I want to help you. My response was, oh. And it's like, what? I have a hard time with this. What, taking money? Yes. Very hard. But I've learned my lesson because I've resisted before, and I just said, okay, I'm going to accept it. I'm going to swallow my pride, and everything for since December till now, which I've been mulling over, sleepless nights, dealing with, praying about, getting peace about, trusting the word, listening to words, to the time that we spoke, it's as if God has just ordained. And I'm very excited about what's coming to Church of Grace because Scott and his wife are an amazing, lovely couple, full of the Spirit. They're local. Everything that I was hoping would come after me is coming and some. That I feel like I could just be T.D. Jakes right now, be like, get ready, get ready, get ready. Because it's going to take us going to do what we need to do to bring in new and, what's going to be taking place in here. But we are very much a part of it. I like how, Paul said, one seeded and the other one watered, but it's God who ultimately gives the increase. So you'll see us. We'll be around. We are not leaving. We are going. We know that what is coming for you, for us, is God ordained, and our family is growing. It's growing to the point where we're moving sooner than later to a place we never thought we would be moving, which is more so towards the Marietta area, which I swore I would never move because I love Orange County. I love the beach, but it's purpose-filled. And before I take all the time, I want my wife to say something because she is very much a part of this.
Okay, so I knew Paul was struggling just with, what God has called him to do and where is he supposed to be. And when he finally told me, he was like, we're supposed to move out to like Menifee area, Marietta area, like out that way. And I was like, well, that's not where we want to go. It wasn't. We wanted to move towards Orange County. That was our goal. And to be closer to here because we wanted to be more involved. We wanted to, it was very hard to be involved because of working out actually I work out in Moreno Valley. We live in Riverside. And just to, even have relationships with you people that we love so much, it was difficult. And so we just thought, well, the Lord's going to work it out. The Lord's going to move us out to Orange County. We're going to go to Orange County. That's the goal.
We're going to be by the beach.
We're going to be by the beach. That's where we're supposed to be.
The water.
And then when he said, that's where I grew up. That's where I already spent my time there. I don't need to go back. So I really believe. And that's pretty much all that the Lord has really said. We know that he's called to music.
I have a business that I had set up in Riverside, which was a recording studio as well as photography with 2 other business partners. I actually just shut it down in July. Everything is loaded in our apartment. I have boxes and boxes. We really don't know where we're going, but we know that the timing is right. I don't understand everything. We don't understand everything, but we do trust the Lord that when he says it's time to go, sometimes we don't see that next step, but when we take it, he's there waiting for us. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I really believe that the Lord told us that specifically because we would have never moved out there if opportunity opened up to move out there. we would have said, nope, that's not the direction we're going. But it had to take the Lord to say it. And it hasn't happened yet, but I really believe the Lord is going to, I don't know, either bring opportunity or something's going to open up where it's going to be, we're going out there. And we would have said no to the opportunity of it if the Lord didn't tell us directly that, because that's not where we want to go. But it's where God wants us to go, so we're excited about that. It's going to be a new adventure. We're excited. We're very excited about new things.
Trying to make sure I'm not talking too long. This is one thing that I want to say that I told Pastor. More than the money, we came because of the connection. We could have never imagined everything that happened. And I honestly believe that you guys were here more for us than we were for you. It's like we had a crash course faith session that is just continuing to grow in us, that I've never really witnessed how strong the grace of God has been on our lives, that what should have been some of the worst of times has created the best memories. And like I said, and Pastor even said it, you're connected to us for life. Like heaven is ours, you guys are going. So we just thank God for everything that you have been to us. This has not been without a lot of tears. And, we have friends here, friends that we brought who are men and women of God who are dedicating to even staying and help fulfilling the vision and the harvest that's coming. So thank you very much. We love you guys. Did you want to say anything?